Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Working on the Dad Pod. As always, I'm Ethan, this is Alex, and today is when you're listening to this, it will be the 4th of July, America's Independence Day, the original Brexit, and we are pre-recording an episode on one of our classic drafts on the perfect plate of barbecue, cookout, potluck, whatever you want to call it, on how we're celebrating today. Uh, the real date of when we are recording this is Thursday, June 20th. So hope that you are having an amazing 4th of July and that you enjoy today's content. So we have a draft today. It's 5 rounds. We are going entree, side, dessert, and drink. The last time we did a draft, I had pick 1 in every round. Alex had pick 2. We're flipping that today. I'm going to actually win as a home team, unlike Alex losing with home field advantage last time. So Alex is going to get the pity first pick in every round, and I'm going to beat him. So as long as you all understand the rules, Alex, are you ready to do this?
All right. I want to set some guidelines here. All right. Okay. So we're doing a cookout draft. I think for all the people that are going to jump in the comments to, tell me I won, just make sure that when you do that you're judging me not just on the quality of the food I picked, but you're judging both of us on whether it fits at a cookout. I'm not going to get too much more specific than that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to pick something that nobody in their right mind, like we were listening to a Thanksgiving draft from one of our favorite college football podcasts a couple years ago, and they were doing a Thanksgiving draft, and somebody picked cottage cheese because they always have that at their Thanksgiving table. And listen, I like cottage cheese. I don't think don't think it belongs to your Thanksgiving table. It's an entirely different debate for a different time, but it is a bad pick for a Thanksgiving food draft. This is as much about personal preference as I think it's about playing to popularity. So I just wanted to get that out of the way for all of you judging the quality of my victory. Okay.
His loss. Anyway, Alex, with the first pick, the entree, are you ready?
Yeah.
To make your selection?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be surprised by this. If you had gotten first pick, I wouldn't have been shocked if you picked it just so I couldn't get it. But pulled pork is my first pick. All right, I need to get our banners updated. We're going to try and do banners, but I was not prepared. But let me talk about pulled pork a little bit because I was born in North Carolina, born and raised in North Carolina, and that means that I have an affinity for pulled pork. Yes, I have an affinity for vinegar-based barbecue sauce, and I think that pulled pork from North Carolina is the best pulled pork that there is. But as we get the banner going here, my entree, pulled pork, I think it is perfect because it is a crowd pleaser. You can pick your size, right? You don't get to pick that. If you want a little bit more than the small burger that they got, you got to get a whole second burger. You want another hot dog? You got to get a whole another hot dog. You want more chicken? You got to get a whole other piece of chicken. But it's really easy to mete out a few extra shreds of pork. You can top it with other things, sauces. You can put it on bread if you want to. It's extremely versatile. It's extremely crowd pleasing. In my opinion, it has a high floor, but also a super high ceiling.
Alex, I think that is an amazing pick. And I'm actually not going that differently from you. I am going with beef brisket for very similar reasons. You can build yourself a nice little mountain of it on the plate. You're also eating it with a fork. It is juicy. It is easy to chew. It's got that, not the exact same texture of pulled meat, but it's along the same lines. And, everything you said about pulled pork is excellent. I think it's an amazing choice, but that's why I went with its cousin, beef brisket.
I hear you. I think my only qualm with brisket is I think its ceiling is as high, if not higher, than pulled pork. But I think that the floor is lower, because I've had some brisket that definitely is almost too smoky, that it just tastes smoke.
So I think you're right in that the it's a pulled pork is also a safer choice. Like it's beef brisket's a high risk, high reward pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got,
And especially if in this made believe scenario, we don't have control over who's cooking, which maybe should have been something. Maybe we can apply that for the rest of the draft now that we're in between rounds.
That's a good idea.
But I think that like not having control over the preparation, right? Because there's just about any food where it's like, if you give me complete control, then I'm going to make it exactly how I want. And I think we got to be accounting for the cooks that are going to serve a bunch of well done burgers, so to speak.
No, that's fair. All right, man.
All
Let's go with so next is the first it's round 2, but it is side 1. So Alex, what is your first side?
Mac and cheese, baby. You got to go with the mac and cheese. If you're at a cookout and somebody's got mac and cheese, again, I don't want to keep saying the words high floor, high ceiling, but come on. Have you ever had like pulled pork and mac and cheese and been like, oh my God, that was bad? No, you're going to be like, it was good or it was great. Like mac and cheese is phenomenal. It's versatile. Somebody could roll up with an entire catering tray of Easy Mac, be good to go. Or they could go hard in the paint with, some heavy cream, some Gruyere, bake the breadcrumbs on top, get real fancy with it. Throw a little Dijon mustard in there. That's always, if you don't put mustard in your mac and cheese, you're doing it worse than you have to. Like you're lowering the floor for no reason.
Yeah, it's insane.
But mac and cheese, elite, crowd pleasing. Tough to go
wrong. That's an excellent pick. Again, pulled pork, mac and cheese combo. That is excellent. I knew that by going second, there was a good chance that mac and cheese would be off the board. I did have it on my board, but I am confident in my pick. I have long believed that there are very few foods that both count as a meal / entree, but can double as a side or an app, and which is why with my first side, I'm going with buffalo wings. And let me tell you why. You get the ability to fill yourself up on enough buffalo wings where you could say, you know what, that's basically a second meal. However, you got to think about the 3 foods that I believe can be a meal or a side. And 1, wings. 100% can go both ways. You can eat 20 wings and have a meal. You can have 6 wings and call it an appetizer or a side. 2, pizza. You can eat a slice of pizza and say you had a snack. You can also eat a whole pizza or half a pizza and say you had a meal. The third one that can go either way, which I know will not be chosen in this draft, is a hot dog. And I'll tell you why. Because a single hot dog can just be a snack. Might not fill you up. But anyway,
here's the problem.
Buffalo wings.
Here's the problem and why an appetizer is not a side. Okay. Because there is no meal that is ever served with a side of buffalo wings, with a side of a pizza slice, with a side of a hot dog.
You can get a side. You can get a side of wings. 100%.
Where regularly do you get a side of wings?
You can order at Wingstop a chicken sandwich with a side of wings.
It can't be a side if it's called item name stop. The name of the restaurant is Wingstop. No. That's like Buffalo going to Pizza Hut and going, I got a side of pizza. You can't do that.
I can do that, and buffalo wings is the side. We can put up an additional poll with the voting on the bracket. We can put on the drafts. We can put up an additional poll on whether or not that was a fair pick. But I'm standing by it until the league rules otherwise.
I'm going to let you pick it because it's a bad pick, and that's exactly why I said what I said at the beginning, judging the quality of the picks, because this is terrible. This is terrible.
It's an amazing pick.
No, it is a great addition to beef brisket on a plate. It is not a side. Whatever. On we move.
Move your feet away.
I mean, come on. So I was very torn with my second pick because I thought that mac and cheese was just an absolute gimme. And like, like you, I don't always want to, I don't want to just go with tried and true, because I think there's a lot of people that are like, oh man, you're setting yourself up here.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue, mac and cheese. What's the logical next step? Coleslaw. But that's not my pick. It's not my pick because I think that, it is just, I think we've got room to do something better, because coleslaw for me is one of those situations where the floor is very low. I've had some really good coleslaw.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely had some good coleslaw, but I've never had coleslaw that like blows me away and is the highlight of a plate. It's
agreed.
Best case, good, adding something to it. And worst case, it is a pool of mayonnaise. And quite often, if it's been sitting out a little bit, not enough to be worried about it having gone bad, but let's just say it's gotten up to right about room temperature recently, and you're just like, it's just mayonnaise soup. Yeah, that's a lot. So let me get it plugged in here before the big reveal. But oh man, sorry, I was typing and I just blanked. But I do you agree with me about coleslaw?
I do. I think that I would say 80% of coleslaw is fine, and that 20% is really good. But rarely do you find really good. So I'll be honest and say it's not going to be my pick, even though you're leaving it there for the taking. So
yeah, I mean it's one of those where I'm happy to suggest it so that you would pick it. But anyway, did you just see my pick?
I saw the preview. That was my pick. I thought I was gonna get by. That is an excellent choice. Oh my goodness. Now I feel like you felt. I feel like you felt in our last draft, man.
Deviled eggs is my pick, and the reason is because, once again, if we're imagining that somebody else is cooking this, never had a bad deviled egg, right? You just mix up some mayonnaise, a little mustard, a few herbs and spices, you're good to go. You want to get fancy with it, you want to put something on that, like I know some people put some like candied bacon on there, get all crazy with it. But every time my mother-in-law grills, she or my father-in-law, whoever is grilling, never has the meat on the grill when we get there at grill time. And that is okay, because she has lined up 24 deviled eggs for me and my family to absolutely house with reckless abandon. Yeah. And so, yes, deviled eggs are my choice, because while coleslaw would be a great addition if I was getting a third side and maybe not competing with anybody, I don't know where coleslaw would fall in my sides ranking. But deviled eggs are always a value add, and I think are more sides than buffalo wings, but offer some of the same sort of versatility. As just like you can add a lot to it.
Okay, yeah, no, I think that's an amazing pick. I honestly thought I was gonna scoot by with that, and I feel like now, knowing your stance on buffalo wings not being eligible, I should have gone
Listen, the buffalo wings are on the board.
I know.
There's I am just here. I am drafting in protest.
I don't regret the buffalo wing pick. I just realized now that could have been my slot side and not my X slide. You know what I mean? That's football terms for X receiver, slot receiver. But I'm saying, like, I could have built an offense around deviled eggs with wings coming in hot. We're realizing now,
but at the same time, like, where I think I'm going is like, I feel like we're playing football and you just invented the forward pass with the buffalo wing as a side dish. I'm like, the rules aren't the same, because I didn't come in with that in my playbook.
Okay. Like, so, but yeah, quality pick.
Yeah, you could have stashed buffalo wings, because I'm like, that's like picking General Tso's chicken. It's not eligible.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm gonna hit this right now. I think you might see it before the people do, because we still can't get this timing right. Oh no, there it is. All right, with my second side.
Good.
I decided that this was the best format for it. I wanted to go with the loaded potato skin, because very rare because baked potatoes, they're hard to do like in bulk with regard to making them perfect for everybody. You could go loaded mashed potatoes, but there's some people who don't mash potatoes right. I'm not going to get into all the specifics, but sometimes
it's like coleslaw. You can have a variety of consistencies that take it. Now, I will say mashed potatoes have a much higher ceiling, in my opinion, than coleslaw. Sure. But the same is true because I think the raw ingredients you can work with, like when I was a kid, no shade, I had like flaked mashed potatoes. They came in like a box and you could add water to them. Like, so you can go all the way to, like Michelin star restaurants serve mashed potatoes and you can get them in a box for like $3.
Yeah, there's a lot of versatility. But that is why I think the loaded potato skin is the way to go, because as far as execution, you basically just need to make sure you clean the potatoes, you cut them. Maybe putting them as like skin was the wrong way. Maybe like in my mind, I think they're probably more like closer to somewhere between like a true potato skin and a potato wedge, really. But you then put the cheese on, the bacon, the chives, whatever you want. It's really hard to mess those up as long as you have a way to fry them and the cheese melts. And then you're pretty much you're golden. And I think that my plate at this point needed a carb and to balance out this offense, and which is definitely meat heavy. So I thought it was the right move.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I don't see it a lot at cookouts, but I'm not about to. This isn't me going, that's not a cookout food. It's just, I think it's a missed opportunity, is where I'm going with that, because they are great. I think I think more people should make them. I think they're a good alternative. Like I really like poutine, right? And then
love poutine.
Call me crazy out on a limb.
Who doesn't love poutine?
Fries covered in cheese and gravy, but you get a similar vibe with potato skins in a less messy, like easier to grab and go format, right? If you're asking me what I want to eat, the answer is poutine. But what I want to grab off a cookout table to put on my plate is probably not that. You can get a lot of those same vibes from that, or just bacon cheddar fries. They don't have to be called poutine. It's any sort of loaded fry or loaded potato structure. The loaded potato skins do great. And the advantage over one, they're crispy, unlike baked potatoes, which I think is a huge advantage. Out in the heat, you want something that's going to hold its structure. And the potato to topping ratio is just much better. It is so hard to get right on a baked potato that sometimes you're just sitting there at the end, you've eaten all the bacon and the sour cream and the cheese, and you're just got steamed potato going in your mouth going, I'm hungry, but it's just steamed potatoes at this point. Man, spare me.
I think it's a safe dish to execute. And just a really high payoff. So that's why I wanted it.
All righty. Dessert time.
Yeah.
Ready? I like my pick. Okay. I really like my pick. Okay. So we're going to show it off here. Key lime pie. Key lime pie. There are several. So I think there are competitors here for, good cold or good warm weather desserts. Like I have my preferences. I definitely did some Googling of like best summertime desserts just to make sure there wasn't anything that like was slipping my mind. But key lime pie was my answer, because get out of here to all the people on Reddit who are ranking watermelon as their top summertime dessert. That is a snack. That is a side item. It's a fruit. People are like, fresh fruit as a dessert. I'm like, if you want fresh fruit after your meal to sort of give you something cold and refreshing, that's fine. Yeah. But like if the sugar comes standard out of the plant, it's not a dessert for me. That's not how I roll. So key lime pie is fantastic because it's always served cold. So it's nice and refreshing. And the citrusy, sweet lime flavor. I mean, there's a reason that these things grow in the Florida Keys. That's where they get their name from. It's built from the Florida Keys. And if you're going to build something summertime, that's a great place to take culinary inspiration, is the place that is just Jimmy Buffett personified.
So I made the mistake as a general manager right now, because even though in the back of my mind, I knew you were going to pick key lime pie.
Okay.
There was a part of me that hoped you wouldn't. The only thing I was going to say, and my only tweak on your pick was I was actually going to pick key lime pie bites because in my mind, if you are making this for a cookout, a lot of people, you cut them a little smaller. So even though it's essentially the same thing, I was putting thought into just plate space and the ability to grab and go.
I hear you. I just don't like the key lime pie bites in the scenario because I think those bites can have a tendency to have too much crust because you got to have the crust to like hold in the filling. And the filling, the crust is good. And trust me, a bad crust can ruin a pie. Sure. But I'm not sitting out in 90-degree heat in a backyard trying to get as much of that graham cracker crust as possible. It's supposed to be an accent on that cold filling. And so the pie does get me more. And I'm relying on the host serving key lime pie to go, we need to make sure we have enough key lime pie.
There you go. And I think that's a great point. I was slightly blinded by the way that my wife, who didn't realize she knew how to make key lime pie, but makes a great key lime pie. And she does them as bites in the sense where she uses what's it called? What kind of paper? What parchment paper, and lines the muffin tin, and then only puts the graham cracker on top. So when you get it, you're like picking up the parchment paper. It's frozen around, and then you can either pick it up upside down, and you're just having the bite, or you're holding the parchment paper, you can eat it, and just the crunchiness is on top. Ultimately, in your mouth, it feels the same, but it's a good way to do that for a party.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. I was thinking more like individual little tarts, right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't going tart style.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah. So with that, and I'm double checking my spelling right now. So I'm gonna make sure I can spell it right.
You have to go out like an old cat.
There it is. Okay. So, in the same, so I didn't want to do a cop-out pick right here after vamping so much about key lime pie and choosing my alternate favorite dessert of cheesecake bites with the same thing. I did not want to do that.
Okay.
So I wanted to go in the realm of cookie because that's a very easy thing to do but I wanted to be unique.
Of course.
So I wanted to go with macarons.
Oh, you messed up. You messed up. I thought you had it in the bag. I was like, he is going to blitz me with cookie ice cream sandwiches, and then you put macarons.
I put macaron, and I'll tell you why. A good macaron.
Because you didn't think of cookie ice cream sandwiches.
Fact. But a good macaron is a dessert that is light. It is delicious. You can accidentally have way too many of them. There's a nice variety. And because of the almond flour, they actually hold up pretty nicely in heat. So I think it's actually a very good outdoor plate food where if you're kind of on the edge, on the cusp where you're thinking, do I really want to have a dessert right now? They'll lean you to yes. So that is why I chose macaron. Another thing my wife does extremely well. So
nice. Yeah. See, this is one of those where, I'm not moving the goalpost, but if I'm not, because the prompt is not if you're hosting a cookout, but if I was hosting a cookout, I'm not a dessert maker. I really like cooking, but I am not a strong dessert maker. I make a mean ice cream sundae. That's about where I'm at on stuff.
I love it. Yeah.
All right. So we've got the macaron. Now it is drink time. All right. And we probably ordered these wrong because I think logically the drink's going with the meal. It's not with the dessert, but you guys can.
Well, I don't know. I think depending on the size of the cookout and just the feng shui of the event, you might need to take everything all at once, and then you end on the drink at the end of the table because you need 2 hands to make your plate.
No, I get it. The drinks are usually separate, but so are the desserts.
Okay.
Usually, I don't know. Anyway, it's drink time. All right. So in my mind, there are 2 elite choices for a cookout drink. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you got a third one. But I got 2 elite choices, and they are iced tea, sweetened, and lemonade. They are the elite choices. And so you're like, which one's he going to pick? I'm not. I'm going to combine them. I'm going to get an Arnold Palmer.
It's a good pick.
I think that is the... Will I always want an Arnold Palmer in every situation? No. But does it take lemonade and tea off the board for you? Yes. And is it a fantastic drink? Yes.
I agree with everything you said. However, and maybe this is a character flaw in me, but I did not consider drafting anything without alcohol. So,
yeah, I'm keeping this kid friendly. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
my bad.
Hey, why don't you pick a non-alcoholic drink and then we'll pick a booze one because we're under 30 minutes right now. So let's keep this party going. Let's add a category, an adult beverage too. That's a good one. Okay. I was thinking, yeah, non-alcoholic for the whole family. This is the best plate regarding age.
Yeah,
we can do a dad plate. We should have done a dad plate. We should have.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask, because I did not come prepared to counter an Arnold Palmer, if I can go right into my booze, and then you can do your booze, and then I can do
that's
and then I can do okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So because you went nuclear and Arnold Palmered me to take 2 great drinks off of the
man, you can't even spike this. I don't know why I made a separate category. I'm going to spike the Arnold Palmer.
I'm just going to say beer. You cannot pick any kind of beer. I have picked beer.
Okay. Great.
Yes.
All right. So
did you? And I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna flash it now. Beer.
Please don't flash people. All right.
Well, flash it. Yeah.
All right. So your drink is beer. All right. My booze. All right. We're at a cookout. All right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and try to act like, we're gonna have some old fashioned. That might be a great go-to cocktail. Okay, that might be a great go-to cocktail, but that's not gonna work at a cookout. So I am going with the tried and true because I think that there is, I think there are some other good picks. Beer's nice. Sure. I probably would have a beer. That would probably be my actual first choice. But I think a fantastic, great option for a hot day, frozen margaritas.
It's a good choice. Excellent choice for a good booze.
Yeah.
So in my mind right now, we are wait, did you?
No, I didn't put it up there.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So in my mind, we are draft. It's the last pick of the draft, and it's not like you have any more picks. So even though I want to go nuclear with you right now,
sauce or something, buffalo.
No. I was just thinking of, in a sense, well, if I pick this in this hypothetical cookout, everything I pick and you pick, the other one of us is not allowed to have. So in this hot summer day cookout, my drink that you are not allowed to drink is water.
I have tea and lemonade. Like, I'm not going to be...
I know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're going to
be over there sipping water and beer while I'm having Arnold Palmers and margaritas and then being like, I got you good.
I'm just saying, when people are considering who won this, I hope that they're envisioning and putting themselves in this position. They're looking at the plate. They're thinking, I'm going up against my friend We're both going to be eating. We're both going to be drinking.
Like,
at the end of the day, one of us will survive. The other one will.
Into like the Hunger Games, where like whatever I get off the table, you can't get. You have to stay out there for 9 hours, and if you get dehydrated, like we're on like naked and afraid territory here. Like trying to survive at the cookout.
Listen, this is a competition. People don't care what we have to say. They want to know who wins.
We're going to add an accessory round. I draft sunscreen.
Okay.
So
my accessory is clothing. You are not allowed to come. There's going to be kids there, you perv.
Saw. Okay. We've officially jumped the shark. But yes, this was a fun way. I hope all of you who are listening to this on July 4th are having an opportunity to at least have one of these things, even if it's just a beer, frozen margarita, or maybe some buffalo wings. You can apparently order them as a side at Wingstop. Wingstop. They do in fact sell wings. They're hidden in the side section.
They do. So here's what I want to say. There. If you are listening to this on July 5th or later, how much of your plate did we get right? Please let us know, because I'm curious.
I am curious too, because I want to go to that cookout, because like somebody's doing it right. You know, they got water and beer.
And loaded potato skins and pulled pork and macarons.
Like if somebody's going to have beef brisket, pulled pork, macarons, good on you.
That's somebody whose friend I want to be.
That is somebody who had it catered.
That doesn't mean I can't attend. That's fine.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a happy holiday weekend. This is a reminder that next weekend we will also be playing a pre-recorded episode, because
not sure what that is yet.
No, we're going to figure it out, because we're recording it the week after we recorded this one. It's all up in the air. It might be something weirder than this. Who knows?
Probably. Well, anyway, thanks for being here.
We say it at the beginning to like and subscribe. If not, like and subscribe. Do all the fun stuff. It's in the show notes. Check them. Go to the website. Follow us.
Agreed.
See you later.
Happy 4th. Go America.
Bye, guys. Thanks for working on the Dad Pod with us. Any resources that we mentioned during the show will be in the show notes. If you have questions, thoughts, or just want to talk with us, the best place is in the comments on YouTube. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Working on the Dad Pod, and on Twitter at Working on Dad Pod. Following and subscribing is always appreciated. Please rate and review us. That helps get the show to new people. And if you know a dad who would enjoy our show, sharing it with them is a huge help to them and us. Have a great week.